Hey everybody, welcome to Brick Vault. My name's Jack, and today, if you saw the thumbnail, this is the live stream for how to build a Lego Pickle Rick. Now, I have been trolling Mike's live stream for like the past week or so. I've been putting it on our Instagram. I've not kept this a secret. The fact that I built a Pickle Rick, it's one of my favorite mocks that I've built this year. And unlike the live stream of when I did the Rick and Morty spaceship, another Lego custom mock that was live streamed, that one's crazy. That one is like annoying. It's like once I build it, I don't ever want to touch it. It's kind of delicate. It's a super big pain to actually put together. This one though, that's the Rick and Morty one that I did, the spaceship, Rick's actual spaceship. This one is actually a bit easier. It's pretty simple. It's a little bit over-engineered, but it's not hard to build, and it's pretty sturdy once it's actually in its final form, and there isn't a lot of being sort of finicky about it. So we're looking down at, I haven't taken the whole thing apart, but I've taken a decent amount of it apart, so you can see sort of each of the little individual little pieces that kind of chunks that put it together. And I'm going to be doing an actual edited video, a fully edited review video of putting this together in an actual episode. And linked in that later episode will be a place where you can download the Lego Digital Designer file. I have a Digital Designer file fully fleshed out for this Pickle Rick. So you don't necessarily have to take a screenshot of this. I don't even have all the parts still in the picture. If I zoom out a bit, there's like still more of like the actual built chunks of some of the plate pieces that, you know, I don't feel like taking all of these parts apart, especially if there's going to be a lot of repeated pieces. What's up? Stream's not working? Oh, is the stream... Let's see, what's our CPU's fine. Oh, I don't know why. I don't know. I haven't touched any of that stuff. In fact, the stream. Sorry if the Twitch jar is missing on this stream. I don't know how. Mike, can we fix that now, or is that something we're just gonna have to live? All right. Sorry. For some reason, parts of OBS just aren't loading our normal stream stuff. So I don't know why. We actually haven't even reset any of our settings on OBS since we streamed last time. But yeah, I don't know why that is. But
just let me fix it. Keep
okay. Well, anyways, this is the basic layout that we've got. To any individual piece is the singular. Come on, buddy. Is the singular 1x2 green jumper piece. So that's the most of them. I think there's 70 of these pieces in the entire build here, and I think maybe. I want to say 30 or 40. Why did the Twitch jar... Oh, it's back. Yeah. Okay, Twitch jar is back, everybody.
I'm fixing things.
Hey-oh, look, it just filled up with something. 2 minutes ago, Sasquatch has resubscribed on Prime for 3 months. Hey, Mike, when are you guys planning on going to the Lego store for the Falcon? That is confidential, Sasquatch. That is a confidential question, but early. Probably very early. That's all we can say about that. No, it's gonna be crazy because it comes out tomorrow, and it's the biggest released set of like basically the decade. Are we good?
Yeah, keep going. I'm fixing things.
Why did all that stuff disappear?
I don't know. Just the catcher was not refreshed. Probably OBS.
Oh, that's weird. Okay. OBS is like
killed OBS and restart it should be fine, but I'm just doing it manually.
I didn't kill OBS and restart it. Instead, I just left it up, and so it got rid of. I turned the computer back on though. Like
maybe it was in sleep mode.
Oh, I thought it was just off.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
I fixed it.
All right. Mike fixed it. All right. Anyways, so I'm actually gonna zoom this in. I'm gonna get the build started. Move some of this stuff out of the way. Why are the frames so low?
I don't know.
Why? That's crazy. It's laggy? Why is it so laggy?
Super laggy.
Dude, I thought I turned the computer on and opened OBS. Like, why would Why would all the settings not be saved? Do you turn it off or do you put it to sleep?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Okay. Well, I always turn the computer off, but
Your
okay.
fucking friends are crazy.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have to restart the stream, guys. It's just a simple.
It's the safest to restart right now.
Yeah, we're gonna restart the stream. Yeah. So sorry about that. Hold on, I'm gonna switch to this. Hey, we're gonna restart the stream. We're gonna be back in 5 minutes, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 1 minute.
1 minute.
Okay.
Okay,
Here, let's kill it.
Okay.
Here, you can start.
And restart.
Heyo! Hopefully we are not dropping frames. It
Yeah.
doesn't say we are. Okay.
No.
Okay.
We're good.
Not laggy. Not laggy. Not laggy. Hello. Okay. We're back. Thanks, Mike. Okay. Cool.
Call the cable guy again when you need me, sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. He fixes everything. Okay. We're back. We're back. I'm just making sure my windows are in my proper, best little spots that I love.
Just refresh, guys.
All right.
F5.
That's all it was, is the program. Like, if you just keep OBS running for too long, it'll just die on you. I don't know. That was so weird though. I really thought I started the computer up from scratch today. All right, so let's get this thing started. Now, let's see if I can even remember how to put this together. This is one of the main building blocks. I've got an already completed version of one of the building blocks. This is the innards of Pickle Rick. This is what all of the different plates and all the different side pieces are going to be attached to later. You know, it likes to. They can wobble around now, but once you've got everything set up, it's actually pretty solid. So, anyways, that's what the main building blocks are of this. And there's different. I've got different color indicators, just letting me know sort of which side is supposed to be which for the Rick head. This is a slightly different one. Well, just because it's got an extra plate at the top, it just tells me that's the top of Rick's head, and this is just an example piece. Here's the bottom of Rick's body, and then I'm just building you one of the modular chunks. Now the idea is that these are actually going to be slightly separated from each other. I could have made Pickle Rick like a really like solid build in terms of it just being one really hard piece, but they're actually kind of separated out from each other ever so slightly, and the idea behind that is that Pickle Rick is a pickle, so he should be like just the tiniest bit flexible, you know. So there's one piece. That's really all there is to it. I can do it again, and each chunk is two together. So, and then they're going to be a little bit separated out. So you just add the 2x4, and they have to have the holes in there because we are putting this tubing through here. And if you want to know what kind of tube, I should have used the regular sort of milky gray. I think that's the name of the color on Bricklink. This is a 20 stud long tube. I accidentally started with a black tube that was maybe 22 or 24 studs long, and then I had to cut it down to 19. This is a normal 20 stud one, which is better just because it's shorter, but you're still gonna have to cut like a stud's worth off the end. Even if you show the lengths now, you can't really see because it's a little bit spread out, but this gray one is a little bit longer than the black. Anyways, yeah, so you do want to have your 2x4s with holes in the center there, and then building it up. And by the way, Jack, are you getting the UCS Millennium Falcon tomorrow? Absolutely, of course we are. That's going to be crazy. I think Mike's going to be doing the first day of building, and then I'm going to pick up the day after. So that's how it's going to sort of work out for us. Likewise, ultimate. Okay, so there we go. So we've got these two. We built their two identical chunks. That's all it is. And then you can see that you can attach them with all of the pinhole openings where they would either be perfectly centered, or that's actually what you do want with the jumper pieces, and that's why you have the jumper pieces, so you can have them offset from each other. So now these pinholes are completely offset. And this is a building technique to make this cylinder I completely, shamelessly stole from Mirko Sopelsa, the guy who did our ultimate, who did the Ultimate Collector Series U-Wing mock. We did a video on that. This is a similar or almost identical internal structure for how he did the engines, the four thrusters on the back of the U-Wing. So I shamelessly stole this internal structure idea from him, which is good. Build off the shoulders of you know, people who've already, I don't know how the saying goes, but anyways, that's that. That's all you need for each of these modular chunks. Now, I've got, see, look, it's the exact same thing. The inner parts are obviously, you know, just jumper pieces that I could basically find. In the LDD file that I've created, I've chosen sort of the cheapest versions of any of these parts, so you're not going to accidentally be buying a bunch of other crazy stuff. Actually, wait a second. I don't think that modular chunk goes on this way. I think it is this one that goes up here. So this is going to be the head, by the way, for Rick and Morty, for Pickle Rick. So that's basically all we do. We've got the offset things here. You don't totally have the thing connect all the way, not until you're ready with all of the different chunks. And what we've got here is two different pieces. So we've got 1 and 2 different sort of like double modular chunks here. And then when you build in towards the other side, you want to have it facing away from each other. So that's one of the things here, and that's why we've got part of the reason why the Flexi Tube is so important here. Jack, why is there not a live stream yesterday? I don't know, Lego Star Wars boy. I think I didn't have the time to set up anything. We didn't have any sets to build. We try, like when I say that we live stream every weekday, that is like 95% of the time, but I do say when we live stream on weekdays, I do try to emphasize that we try to live stream every weekday. It's not every single one, because yeah, on occasion, like yesterday, we just didn't have a proper thing to build. So we just didn't build anything for the stream yesterday. Normally we do. All right, and then we've got another one of these chunks. So I've already shown you how to build. It's the exact same chunks that we're looking at here. This one that I just added on has one extra little plate here. One extra plate, not two. And remember, these are studs that are facing away from each other here. So there aren't the 2 plate distances like we normally have between all of these ones. But when they face away from each other, there's just a single plate. So that's still just, that's the only slight difference for that particular piece right there. Not a huge thing, but it does make the spacing between the green plates that make up Rick's body just a little bit more consistent when we get to the final product. But anyways, this is all going to be in an LDD file, so you don't necessarily have to be, if you really are serious about doing a Pickle Rick mock, you don't have to be taking super crazy notes, because I do want this video hopefully to be out on Friday. I've got most of it actually put together. The main thing is I don't know if I've got the website set up in order to actually make this reality in terms of something that's going to be uploaded. Now there's a little bit of space here with the tube. It's sticking out a little bit too much on this side, which leads me to believe this is the normal tube that I've been using since forever. So I know that there should be some more space. That means that I should be pushing these pieces a little bit further along. I think I hadn't pushed the tube all the way through on the other side. So now it sticks out a little bit too far. So all you have to do is really move it chunk by chunk, sort of piece by piece, until, yeah, there we go. So now it's not sticking out on this side, and it's not sticking out on that side. In fact, I could actually, you know what, I'm going to move this even a little bit further. Yeah, even a little bit further. Really make sure that I'm not accidentally pushing any of this stuff further than it needs to go. So now we've got, it's a little bit flexible. They're a little bit offset from each other. So it feels pretty solid, but a little wobbly, and that's like a pickle. That's how you want it to be. You could very easily push all the studs in all the way and make this a really solid chunk. You'd have to play around a little bit with the plate dimensions, but I personally like this thing being a little bit, you know, I want it to feel also a little bit like how an actual pickle would feel. It doesn't actually get rid of the structural stability of the build, so I don't see any reason why you wouldn't push all the studs together. But anyways, that's the pickle body right there. So this is the head. You don't, in the LDD file, I've included just the single circular piece. And this side that has like the green and stuff, that's not there. That looks like this in the LDD file. This is cheaper. And this is just for me personally, so I know which side is the top and which is the bottom. I pretty much know anyways because there's a shorter section of studs pointing this way as opposed to the bottom part. So the next move is to create a bunch of these. These are different from these, as you can see, but not by a huge margin. So when you look at it from the side, we've got a lot of these slope pieces. I mean, this is the majority of the pickle is made of just these dark green or forest green slope pieces, which on the inside, depending on which orientation, you've got different studs, different 1x2 plates, and that's what's going to end up being the part that attaches to all the pins that go in here. So there's sort of a way to do it properly, so to speak. And also, I think one more thing to point out that I might have skipped over in the back is that there's these holes here, and you only leave these holes open right at the very end because there's a slightly different piece that needs to just sort of slide in between without it pinning to anything. And the same goes for the top by Rick's head, except one pinhole is open, and that is actually where the face attaches to, with the eyes and the eyebrows. But everything else is open with 0 pinholes. Boom! All right. So, hope you guys are following along. This is my little instruction tutorial thing on how to put this together. All right, so let's build some of these chunks, because I took quite a few of them apart. Not all of them. I left a few together just because at a certain point this build does get a little repetitive, and there isn't like any real reason to put everything. So anyways, these solid flat chunks, let me see. Let's see, where are we at with the solid flat chunks? So I've got my LDD file open just to make sure that I'm building the proper number of them, because I don't want to build too many. Who heard about episode 9 coming in December 2019? I heard about that. Woo! It's gonna be crazy. So this is pretty easy though. So you just add the two 2x4 plates together. I put the gray on the bottom and the lime green together. I tried to get as many of the green and lime green, anything greenish, to fit on the inside plate pieces in case you could see in between the openings on these flat areas, but I realized it really doesn't matter. So the inside plates here could all be gray or light bluish gray or something, a cheap and easy color to find. And then from there, you just add that. That's it. So you do that how many times? I'm looking at it right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 4, 8, 9, 10. Okay, you do it 10 times. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so you do it 10 times. How many have I built already? So I need 10 of these chunks, and I have currently 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I need to build 5 more of those. So it's really, really simple. Really, really simple. I'm just going to keep doing it with the lime green on top. So I'm going to build 5 more of these. Simple as it gets. What the heck are you building? Well, the title and thumbnail might be a pretty good indication as to what I'm building. But it is the Lego Pickle Rick. It is my own custom mock. My own custom Lego mock that I've been on and off working on for a while. I hoped to see this with a huge set. Willem? Oh, you mean like, hold on, are you talking about this one? Psycho Starter Pickle Rick? I'm gonna start soon, get to the studio. There is a chance we not. Right. I am jumping. Oh, wait, hold on. That's you. Who's typing? Mike, you on the stream? All right. So anyways, I'm just putting together the next 5 of these chunks. They're really easy. It's so easy to put these particular pieces together. The other ones take a little bit more effort and a little bit more. I mean, it's none of it is hard. That's the thing about this build, guys. None of this build is hard, which I personally think is one of the better things to have. Like one of the better things to strive for when you're doing a mock. Some are just going to be super ambitious and really tough, and like it's gonna be sort of a challenge on whether or not you can or can't build something. But personally, I like it when somebody is so good at building Lego that they can make something look like good the way they want it to, but also not be like crazy delicate or crazy difficult to put together. Because that's how Lego designers at Lego Company actually sort of work towards. They make something look good, but they also make it easy, you know, and that just takes like a whole other level of building, and that's kind of why I like this one the most out of any of the mocks I've built this year, because it's the easiest one to put together. So that's 5 chunks, and then I've got another 5. So these are all the side flat paneling or at least these particular kinds of flat paneling are done. Now I've got another one, and this is all of the other flat paneling that I've got for Pickle Rick. It's pretty simple. You can pretty much see how it gets put together. I will build one for you, a little bit close, maybe even closer than this, and then I'll just build the rest of them that need to get put together. So let's see, where did I put that really long chunk? Oh, here we go. Yeah. So this is the piece that we need the most in the build, and we need 4 of them for this because we're gonna cover our 2x4 completely with a layer of jumpers. Who's Dutch? Not me. Please, rules. I guess you could say it's Brickle Rick. I know. I was gonna say Pickle Brick when I first started the title. I was like, should I just say Pickle Brick? No, I'll just say Pickle Rick. I'm Pickle Brick. Yeah, that actually work pretty well. And then this here is super simple. Look. So I've added the jumpers. I added a single plate, and then all I need now. Where's the tile? Where the heck? I could have sworn I put them down here. Oh, they're like right next to me. Okay, yeah. And then you add a tile, and that's it. That's it. You need a bunch of these. And you don't add any extra little plate piece to the back of this. They just remain a little bit lower, a little bit flatter, because they are going to go, at the end of the build, they're going to go kind of like a little bit underneath. And it's just the way they're going to fit together on the cylinder is just going to be, they don't need to have an extra plate on the bottom. That's just the way they're designed. Now, this one is going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh yeah, this is actually my old LDD file that isn't as updated as my other one. So I don't need quite as many as my LDD file, the one that I have on the computer. So I have to sort of count it out. Let's see, how many do I have now? I think I need 11, except one's going to be extra long. So there's 5 built here. There's 6 built. So I'm going to need to build 1 more. Actually, let me build my extra special one right now. There's 2. There's out of the 11 of these that we're building, there's 3 that are going to be slightly different modifications. So this is one that's going to be a slightly different modification, where we have a 1x6 that sticks out a little bit, and then we add our normal plate, and then just a 1x2. So it's pretty much the same as the rest, just a little bit longer. And this is going to be the piece that goes right below the mouth, I think. So there's one modified piece right there. That's pretty simple. And then another one of the modified pieces, if I can remember. Ooh, this is going to be. Oh, right. Okay. So this next one is going to be slightly different. I guess it doesn't really matter which parts that we build on top of, but I'm going to keep it up here. So let's get the general 4x4s, the 1x4s I mean. Nice, hopefully it's not freezing there yet. Oh yeah, I don't know the popular diamond. I like what you got. Thank you, Newton, Artemis, Fido, Scamander. I got your reference. So there's 2 hyphenated versions of this build, and this is one of them. They're pretty much the same. So instead of doing a single 1x4 plate, it's a 1x2, and then we have one of these modified edges, you know, with the little clip that kind of comes out a little bit. Not a clip. I can't remember the name of that piece, but this part. That's all it is. And then you do the opposite version of that on another form, and that's going to help just cover up some open space. There's a little bit of the lighter green or just regular green color that is going to appear in between some certain plates, and that is to cover up one little area by the mouth. It just has a little bit too much of an opening. So I'm going to do the same thing here, but have the plate sticking out facing the other direction. So that's the same. That's all. There's the modified pieces. So out of the 11 of these that we're building, 3 are modified. These are two modified ones with the plate sticking out, and then the other one is the long one. So these are that. And then I need to have 8 other ones that are normal. So let's see, there's 4. Okay, I just need to build 2 more. Okay, easy peasy. I love England. These colors remind me of the turtle mock in the new It movie. I have not seen the turtle mock in the new It movie. I'm Pickle Rick. Are you Nate Dogg? Are you Pickle Rick Nate Dogg? Because it looks like your name says Nate Dogg, huh? What's that? What's that about Pickle Morty? Oh man, now you're getting ambitious. Make a Pickle Morty mock. If Lego didn't exist, this channel would be a Playmobil vault. I don't know what that means. What's Playmobil? Mike, what's Playmobil? It's a toy company. Okay, got it. Haven't been there for 5 years, so a lot of catching up to do. Okay, I don't know what you're talking to, Will, but all right. So this is the last of these flat plate pieces, and so much of this is just going to be building up the plate chunks for Pickle Rick, and then right at the end, right at the very end, we're going to put it all together, and it's going to be glorious. So we've got all of these flat pieces done, all of these ones and the modified versions of them. So that's 8 of these flatter pieces, 1 with just an extension, just an extra 2 stud extension, and then the other 2 flat pieces that have the little clips. So that is gonna, these little clips here. So that's gonna, basically this is getting all the main flat areas. This and these chunks that we just built, that is like Pickle Rick's main middle body. Totally done. Now there's these 2 pieces, and these 2 pieces are gonna be what cinch up to make the build around Pickle Rick's head, that start to get a little bit more narrow and then eventually lead to the top. Let's see if I can pick up these 4 pieces without them all exploding out of my hand. They kind of want to, but this is gonna be for the head. So we're gonna build the chunk pieces that are gonna fit around Pickle Rick's head now. And they're a little different. Some of them are a little different. I'm going to build the basic ones first, and then I'm going to actually need to reference my I'm going to reference my whatchamacallit. Ooh, here we go. So we're going to build these. We have 5 of these that we're going to need to be built. 1 bottom piece for Pickle Rick's head. There's just going to be 4 of these that go around the head. And then on the top, there's a different shape because we're fitting in Pickle Rick's face, so we only have 1 of these at the top. So we need 5 in total. And let me actually like look at them like, okay, how did I build this? How did I build this before? Okay, I think I figured it out. It's pretty simple. Okay, I need another 4 of these for each of these chunks. We really do need like 4 of these jumper pieces. They're pretty easy to add on. So first 3 of the jumper pieces are just going to add on to the 2x3 piece. And once again, this bottom piece doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter what that color is. I thought I would need it to be green, but it doesn't really need to be green. We just had extra green ones in the studio anyways, so that's why they're green here, but they don't need to be. And if you do get that LDD file, you will be able to see definitively that you don't need actual greenness, and I'll show you at the end. If your Pickle Rick built a rat suit attachment with the light, oh yeah, that would be the next step for this. So there we have just 1 more jumper piece thrown down there to kind of solidify this green build. all you really need to make sure is that these jumper pieces are green, because that is actually kind of important. And then it's easy. You just add a 1x1 here, and then another one of these. Also, one of the most common pieces in the build is both the 1x2 jumper and this 1x2 slope, curved slope piece. I think 64 of these pieces in the build, and then about 70 of the 1x2 jumpers. So I need to build one more of those. Let's do that. We're almost out of the jumpers, which is good. There's 5 of them. First, you take the dingle bob and you smooth it out with some schleem. There's many hazards in the way. Then a schlami comes by and he rubs on it, spits on it. Yeah, I think I really wanted to make a plumbus. I got pretty close with a midi-sized plumbus, but I feel like I need to make it life-size for Lego, because I've got the life-size Pickle Rick here, I've got the life-size portal gun. A life-size plumbus is really what you need out of Lego. So there's 5 of these normal ones. They're out of there. They're gone. Let me just show you one last time, maybe a little closer if you didn't get a good look at that. But yeah, it's basically a 2x3 and then 4 jumpers. So 1x2 jumpers. So 3 of the jumpers cover the plate, and then there's one that's just attached right at the front that is on top of the 2 slope pieces, and that's just a 1x1 in the back. Okay, so I built 5 of those. That's what's going to be sort of basically take the place of the flat plate pieces that are around the normal side of the body, but these are the pieces that are going to be by the head. And in retrospect, maybe I could have gotten away with doing this with maybe a 1x3 tile and then having just a single flat 1x1 tile at the bottom, but I kind of like this curved piece. So anyways, that is what's going to make this up, and then I've got to build these ones. And now these ones, this is a little bit of a mixed bag because there's 8 of these in total, 8 of these that need to get built in total, and 4 of them are modified, slightly different. So these ones have a little bit more of a punch to them, a little bit more of a different take, I think. And yeah. I think I added these together in a certain way. You know what I should have done? What are these for? Oh wait, no. Okay, so here we go. We've got a couple of the 2x4s already punched together to make them up. I'm gonna make the regular ones first. So I need to have 4 of the regular ones. This is a copy, so I need to make 3 more of these. So it's basically a 2x4. Pickle Eddie, never did that. What? Okay, now let's see. Oh, wait. I remember how this goes together now. I remember. These ones have to be a little different. So, actually, probably, let me separate these right now, because they need to be a little different. I don't have a 1x4, or sorry, a 2x4 on them. Actually play around with them a little bit more. So let me show you. So let's put the gray on the bottom, and then we actually have, I kind of ran out of the normal 1x3s, but so you make a layer like this, and that's what these need to be made of here. So this is going to indicate sort of the body starting to get a little bit thinner towards the top, like any pickle would. Easy peasy, nothing to it. You need to make 5 or 4 of these, and then the other 4 are going to have some extra tiny little plates added here at the bottom, just to make the color look a little bit nicer for when the Pickle Rick head is kind of cinched off at the top. That's all. So there is a slight difference here, but not in a huge way. I just need to make sure that I don't accidentally use too many of a certain type of color. You're so cool. Thank you, Laura Russell. You're going to build it on an upcoming stream? Wait, hold on. You're not talking to me. Let's see. Oh, I'm shooting the pieces out now. So this is a pretty organized Lego build. I'm not going to be playing around with the design of this pretty much at all. I've got this thing cinched down to pretty much exactly what I need it to be. Here's another part that I have. This is just pre-built. These are extra pieces that I just had. You know, if I could find like a green 2x3 normally, I'd probably just use that. But this is just what I had left over from whatever kinds of pieces when I was first building this. I do have an LDD file for this, and the LDD is much more sort of exact on the kinds of pieces you're going to want to use, and ultimately it's going to be better because those parts are going to be they're going to be just more useful, and they're also going to be cheaper. If you do end up wanting to buy the parts to make a pickle rick, it would be much cheaper to order those certain types of pieces off Bricklink. So let's move it all in, easy peasy. Cockroach suit pickle rick, that would be the next one. Here's a challenge for you. Yeah. What would be my ideal version of that build would be if I could make just the cockroach suit, like sort of like you could just rest the pickle into the cockroach suit, so you wouldn't have to do a lot of modification to the original build. But I don't think that's going to be possible, not with the way the limbs attach and all that. Let's see, I've built 4 already, so these new ones, these next ones, this is what's going to be necessary for the this is going to be by Pickle Rick's head, and there's going to be a few extra little plates in there, and it's basically just going to close off a few little gaps that people would normally see in the head, and it's going to make this build look a little bit cleaner. And this 2x2 doesn't even want to come apart. Let's see if I can use, oh my gosh, I'm going to see if I can use 4 brick separators. Let's see if we can get this 2x4. I said 2x2, I meant to say 2x4. Look at that. Come on, come apart. There we go. All right. 5 more minutes and I'm gonna get mad. Oh, that is that from the very first episode? I think that is one of the first ones. All right, so yeah, let's get these next. Actually, yeah, I have to make sure that I get the proper pieces put in here. Because this is actually kind of important that whatever, this bottom color isn't as important to get green, but this top one is a little bit more important because just like when you're putting these together here, you can ever so slightly see that little green corner piece when you add this slope on top of it. And that is going to be able to show on the outside of the mock by the head. So yeah, this bottom color, not as much. No one really cares as much. A lot of the reason why a lot of these other underside pieces are green is just because I had the colors when I was building them, but not because it's absolutely necessary. What is necessary though for these particular slope pieces is that these slope pieces at the top here are green, because they will show up. Sorry, I should have probably mentioned that earlier. So like this 2x3 would normally fit like great here, but I actually don't want that to be the case because, hold on, how many have I built? Okay. Oh, I'm almost there. Okay, I just need to build 2 more. So let's get that in, yeah. So, yeah, you can actually add the lime green one. And the lime green's fine too. It doesn't all have to be like the exact regular green. The pickles are off color, and I know a lot of people have said this to me already, but like I could have gotten away with, ooh, actually wait, hold on, this bottom piece should probably be another green color as well. Oops a daisy. So let me pull these parts off, keep them in the brick separator, and put it in there. That way the proper green is still left in there. Bye everyone, see y'all later. See you 3 bros action. 3 bros in action. Hey, what time will the Falcon be released for VIPs? Well, that is officially tomorrow. So be on the lookout. Tomorrow is essentially one of the biggest set release days in LEGO history. Better get pumped, guys. All right. So there should be, in theory, 1 more of these pieces. Now, I think what I'm gonna do is actually, I'm gonna take, I need this to be an actual green piece for the top piece. So I was being a little bit frugal when I parted this thing down earlier and rebuilt it. So I'm gonna take apart this, actually no, I'm gonna take apart, doesn't matter. I'm gonna take this apart, take all the jumpers off, and just add them to a black one of these. Switch it out, because I do need this green 2x4 to actually be one of these top parts here. You're dropping frames, Jack. Am I? Am I already again? How long did that take? Let me see. I have dropped, ooh yeah, I'm dropping, it's a little bit of lag. It's not that many frames, sorry about that. Yeah, maybe we might have to, maybe part of that is we have to, I didn't check my, the server strength today, but I don't think that's the case. All right, now this is the last of these pieces here. Let's see. Make sure that that's in the right place. This is there. That's there. That's fine. These pieces don't really matter as long as that top part is green. Then we're pretty much in the clear. Brick Vault, yeah, I know it's tomorrow, but what time specific? Whenever your Lego store opens. I mean, what do you mean? What time are they releasing it? I know that in here in California and in I think all of the states, Lego stores open at 10 a.m., right? Yep, 10 a.m. So, yeah, so that's specifically what time it would be. Now, okay, so here we go. We've got 8 of these chunks, right? These are the chunks that are going to be the ones that start to cinch off a little bit. That's why they come inwards. It's because we're getting close to the ends of the pickle, either on the top or the bottom. So that's why they look like this. And 4 of them are going to be a little bit different, but only on the underside here. So these ones, I can just show you what they look like. Oh yeah, I should also add these pieces as well. They're all going to have the 1x2s stuck into the bottom here, specifically at the bottom. So these, you know, the color of a lot of this stuff on the underside doesn't really matter. It does just matter, make sure that that part is green at the top. Okay, so there we go. These are just sort of the random colors that I have underneath. Now, I'm gonna check my LVD file because I know specifically that there is, LVD is so slow, I hate LVD. Program. Now, I'm also going to have to remember which sides of these builds. Okay. So, let's see. I'll make these ones at the top. I'll make these the special ones. So these are the pieces that are going to go close to Pickle Rick's head. So Pickle Rick's head is going to have just some regular green pieces coming in here. It's really not that interesting. I mean, just make sure that you have if you can get away with finding a regular green 1x3 plate, that totally works. And then of course you build sort of the opposite version onto the other side. So there's 2 of the modified parts there. You just have, when you look at it on the edge, there's just a simple edge here. So you're not going to be seeing on the inside of a certain area by Pickle Rick's face. That's all it is, and that's what it's for. This one is slightly different because there's a little bit of coloration for Pickle Rick's face, and Pickle Rick's face is going to need, I think there's a double one here. Let me just triple check. I'm actually checking my own LDD file now just to make sure that I am going to be building all these pieces direct the way they need to be. I think oh yeah. So there is, these ones have a little bit more stuff kind of built into the bottom because there is, you pretty much do the opposite colors on both sides, and they're going to match up with the way Pickle Rick's face looks. So, you see how that is a... Here we've got a dark green 1x1, and then a regular green 1x2, and then it's the opposite on the other side with the 1x1 regular green, 1x2 dark green. We just switched that. So on this next one that's modified, we build the opposite way. Super simple, but it'll make sense. It'll make sense in the long run. So perfect. All right, so we've got, and I can see that I'm running out of the exact pieces in the exact places, which is good. Which means I'm not accidentally building this totally wrong. So there we go. Boom. Now let's build. Oh yeah, this is gonna be for Pickle Rick's face. How did I build Pickle Rick's face? I totally forgot. This is something that I designed like a while ago. So like, oh yeah, Pickle Rick's face needs a. Yeah, he needs a green backdrop. So this one, I'll use this one. Technically, you don't need the studded opening piece for it, but I think we've got them, so it's probably fine. Easy peasy. So let's get, we need. This is actually pretty simple. Okay, so we've got a jumper at the top. This is the face. This is one of the parts of the build that I'm a little bit more sort of proud of. So not necessarily proud of, but just happy that I managed to get like sort of a good indication as like kind of a recognizable part of Rick's face here. So we've got a jumper at the top. This color plate doesn't really matter. It just happens to be green. Another jumper, and then a dark green 1x2 tile piece. Then all we need is another jumper here. Another 2. This is going to be offset like this. So we've got our jumpers here. Nothing too crazy. Let's get that nice little dark green nose. There's Pickle Rick's nose. Nothing too crazy about that. It's actually all. That's the thing about this build that I'm sort of proud of, is that it's really not that hard. It is not that hard to put it together. Oop, yeah, and we almost forgot. Actually, before you put the eyes on, take those eyes back off. Let's get the clip piece in here. And now we're actually gonna put on the seed piece. This is the part where I was like, I know I can make Rick's face because I know I've got a sand green hot dog piece. This came from BMO's arms from the Dimensions set. And I was like, that's it. That is it. We've got Pickle Rick. This is Pickle Rick's nose and eyes. So let me show that a little bit closer. So we've got the dish pieces that I think everybody knows. This is a pretty new color for the hot dog. I think it really did only appear as BMO's arms in the Dimensions set with BMO. This doesn't need to be open studs. That's just the part that I have for it. And yeah, so there it is. So that's the chunk that fits onto Pickle Rick's face. And I think also, I guess this one's the dark green piece here, but that also fits in to the back there. Boom. Easy, easy peasy. Oh, you know what? I think I used some of the wrong parts in the wrong place at a certain point. So I might have to grab a few extra ones because I'm about to build Pickle Rick's mouth, and then I realized I used some of these black 1x2s and stuff in the wrong place. Yeah, I totally did. And I used a black 2x4, which I also need as a black for the background for Rick's face. So let me grab a couple more other little plate pieces. I'll be back in 1 second. And I'm back. Okay, let's get that back down to this one. We're gonna build Pickle Rick's mouth now. Boom. Pickle Rick's mouth is gonna get built. Do I remember? This is a good question. Do I remember how to build the mouth? Let's find out. How do you like Evil Morty? I love Evil Morty. I can't wait for that sort of storyline to kind of come to fruition. And I think we all can kind of see where it's going if you really follow all the stuff that's happening in the storyline. I think I don't want to say it's obvious. Maybe they're going to be trolling everybody because the creators have been trolling everyone so well this whole series, this whole last season especially, because I think they also know that there's so many people that watch the show so incredibly closely. Oh yeah, let me just show this off. This I think looks a little bit sloppy the way I built it, but I was trying to redesign it the other day, and I honestly can't find something with quite the same structural stability that I like. So what we have here, is a 2x4 black piece. Sorry, it doesn't. Yeah, there we go. So it's a 2x4 and then a 1x2. You can see that a little easier there at the bottom, and then it's attached just by having a 1x2 at the top, and then we've got that clip. So this is going to be the interior of Rick's mouth, Pickle Rick's mouth, and that's going to be sort of, it's black and it just looks like sort of an endless opening, and that's all you really want. So there's the opening part of Pickle Rick's mouth, and let's see, how did I do this before? I I know I've got this. Let me just look at the other side. Okay, yeah. I remember. Sort of. Okay, so we've got, sorry, I just added one, but we've got this piece here. I don't know the name of it, but it's, you know, it's got the 90-degree studs on the outside, not the studs on the top, and then whatever. I don't know the name of that piece. That's what it is. And then here's a jumper piece that I put in there. It doesn't need to be a jumper piece, but it's there anyways. Come on, buddy. I want to fit in there. Oh wait, no, yeah. I should add a regular plate piece on the inside. Where did that other plate piece go? I'm gonna grab one more plate piece. There's supposed to be another spot that fits right in there. And once again, the color doesn't matter for this part, anything like that. This is what's gonna be fitting onto the actual face for Pickle Rick. And here we go. And this was the last piece I was waiting on for so long when I was putting this together. But these are the wheel well pieces for the dark green, and that's going to make up sort of the shape of his face. Is it lagging only at me? Let's see. We've dropped, how many frames have we dropped? We're at 3.5% dropped frames, so it is a little bit laggy, guys. I'm sorry. Fortunately, 3.5% isn't a huge amount, but yeah, you might feel just a little bit of some stuff missing here and there. Now, see, this is the basic structure of Pickle Rick's mouth. There's a few other little things that kind of just help it look like it's sort of integrates to the body a little bit better. We had a couple more of these sloped 1x2 dark greens. So it kind of builds a little bit. It looks like it's kind of stretching. You know, his mouth kind of has a little bit of a skin stretching there. And then just super simple. So we've got this, and we've got this. So we just added 2x2 tiles onto both sides, and that's going to help it integrate into the body. This is just going to stick on by one stud, just one stud that's going to fit right into the center there, but fit in there actually surprisingly well. So let's see. We've done the face, we've done the mouth. This is sort of how it's going to look. There's one other piece. Now, I know a lot of people have already commented before how this looks a little bit silly. Personally, I kind of like the way it looks, and I couldn't find a whole lot of other alternative ways to make his mouth just feel a little bit more connected. This is already really, yeah, there you go. I don't want it to be rolling around too much. But yeah, you basically add, sorry, I'm adding a rubber band that flips. Sorry, I keep on pulling it towards my face because I want to be able to see it close. But yeah, this just brings the line of his face together a little bit more. It's a little bit crooked, it's a little bit funny, but I think it's fine. Realistically, I'd like it to push in a little bit because that's kind of how his face looks. But I think it looks all right altogether. Now, I'm gonna zoom this out, and I think we're finally at the point. It's funny because there's definitely, oh wait, hold on. We're almost there. This one's really easy. This is just, I need two of these little parts. This is a 2x2 on top of a 2x2 plate, and then on top, underneath that is just a 1x1. This is just a few little parts that need to connect to the corner of Pickle Rick. And it's funny because I took this apart and then I'm like missing another piece. So let me grab another one of the 2x2s that's supposed to go on top of that. I'll be back in 1 second. 5, 4, 3, 2. 5, 4, 3, 2, 5, 4. Okay, I found another couple of 1x2s, which is fine. That works. Okay. So let's attach that. Okay. Sorry, those were a few extra little pieces. And hopefully I built all my modular chunks correctly. Now, if I remember the distribution. So this is the pickle. Let me get everything sort of into place now. Let's see, which ones are the okay, there's a modified piece. Modified. Actually, I'm going to zoom it out even further. Because you still can't. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So these are modified for Pickle Rick's head. There's his face. These are modified for about his head and his mouth. So these are all sort of specialty pieces for Pickle Rick's head. And then a lot of the basic stuff. I guess I'll start off with his head. Now, we don't want to put any of this top stuff on until the very end, and I'll tell you why. But yeah, this is actually going to be pretty structurally sound. I certainly hope so, at least. So, got a lot of the side plate pieces. Now, it doesn't really matter, I guess, where we start. We can put Pickle Rick's head right on the top. His face just fits right in there. Kind of reminds me of Earthworm Jim a little bit. Jack, is it possible to add teeth? You know what? I played around with the teeth design. I don't know. I played around with it, yeah, because there is that perfect 1x3 plate piece that has like, or maybe it's 1x2 plate piece that has 3 teeth sticking off of it. Couldn't get it to look as good as I was hoping, so I decided to scrap it. Now, here is the modified parts for his head. Now, this is, you can tell which piece that you need. Let me zoom that in a little bit to show you what I mean. I have sort of an indicator. So because the jumper piece here for his nose has to be a lighter green, then we've got the tile piece there that's a dark green. I know that this indicator piece is on the right side because I've got a dark green piece here, and then I've got light green or regular green, I should say, on the other side. So I know that ooh. Oh, and I remember, actually, these ones are connected not by a regular 1x2. This is actually a mistake on my part. Not by a regular 1x2, but instead there's a jumper at the bottom because of the way the stud fits in there. So, I'm pretty sure, yeah, that fits in there. So I think there's a jumper that fits in like that, and that way it'll be perfectly flush, yeah. So there we go. So there's one edge of Pickle Rick's head. And which side did I accidentally mess up again? Oh, it's on this side. So let me take this 1x2 out. Can I just pinch it out? Come on. I'll just use this. All right. So there's, yeah, I forgot that one's supposed to have a jumper on the inside there. So it's just so that it can match up with this studded piece here on the inside and not have any big problems. That's it. They don't fit in. None of the pieces fit in like super solid at first, but when you get all of them in, they all fit in like really well. So there's Pickle Rick's head starting to come around towards the top, and then let's get the back sections put in, and then you can tell this is an open. The other two modified pieces only have openings on one section, and then the other sides are actually kind of left a little barren, like all the other corner pieces. So that way you know which area is supposed to match up. You're supposed to always match up the sides that are a little bit more reinforced with plates like this to one side, and then you know that this part. And before you put in this last piece, and this is going to be a little bit I think annoying for certain people, but it's really not that hard to do. We've got 5 of these pieces. 4 of them are supposed to be for the bottom of the pickle because the bottom is just going to have these openings for all of them, but because we've offset things a little bit for the face, you only have 1 of these on the top of the head, and it doesn't fit in. This doesn't actually fit into any studs. So this is, I think, an illegal building technique. I don't care. Nobody's coming here for legal techniques or illegal. We're purists here, but I think this isn't really bending the rules too much. So it actually just rests there. And you have to put it in before you put in the last plate, because when you put this in, you're not going to be able to fit it in. So you have to put this in first, and you kind of just have it rest right in the corner. Yeah, and then you just add the last piece. And you should be a-okay. It's actually pretty fine. It's totally fine. If you push this down and you shake it, this will fall out before you add the rest of the build down below. So I'm going to keep this sort of at a level 90 degrees right now. So I don't want this piece that's kind of resting. But once you have the top in and the bottom, this piece is going to be as solid as anything else. It's not going to move. It's not going to want to pop out or anything. And all right, so now we've got this together. Not bad, right? And I'm going to wait to put the mouth in until the very end. So we should now have, let's see. Oops, yeah. So now we just start to add, hold on, these are the tops and bottom corner pieces, so we don't need that. We're gonna add the basic parts, I think. Aha, okay. So yeah, so we're gonna start adding the normal pieces. I haven't built this in a while, so I'm gonna kind of experiment. I'm like, how did I get those parts in before? I think this is how I did it. We have these ones here. These ones, oh wait, no. Yeah, this is gonna fit in there. These smaller ones that are, they spin before they fit into anything, but they actually fit in decently well. Ah, my little parts fell out. Maybe I should build the rest of the part of the head first before I do the top. I think that is what I did the last time. So we have these smaller chunks that come into the bottom, and they work like little windmills now, but they're gonna be stuck into place. Jack, is it going to eat you? It is going to eat you. The pickle of doom! Okay, so we've got these chunks in here. Yeah, I think I'm gonna build the normal part of the head first, and then I don't have to worry about the rest of it. Yeah. Ooh, okay, yeah, and then I've got my modified parts here. So I remember I built 11 of these pieces before, so I have 11 of them. See if I can find the modified ones. These are all the same. These are all the same. Where are they? Oh, I need one of these modified pieces first. The modified part, that's a long one. And then there's two more. Let's see. Oh, here's a modified one. It's got a clip sticking out the top. And then, let's see if I can find the last one. The last of the modified. Come on. It's got to be here somewhere. Not modified. Nope. Oh, here we go. So there's the other modified one. So these ones are they're gonna take their part in here. And these are gonna match up close to the mouth. Now I remember how to build this. This head is a little bit more complicated than the rest of the body. But yeah, that, oops. Yeah, let's make that nice and flush. Come on, buddy. Come on, buddy. There it goes. So there we go. So we've got it flush on one side, so that clip is facing forward, and then you do the same thing, this weird rotating part. As soon as you get it in there, this actually already makes it a lot more solid right there. If I can get it in the right spot. Come on, buddy. Oh. I'm gonna pop that again. This has got a little bit of structural instability when it's not all put together in the right spot. But as soon as it's there, you can actually pick it up and it feels pretty comfortable. So there, I've got one of the flat pieces are in there, flat pieces there. This thing wants to like rotate around when it's not all flush. And then I can actually use a regular one. So I can just use this regular flat piece here, because we can start to do sort of just the normal bit of building. So we've got the flats in there, that's fine. And then this is where most of the body is actually pretty similar to itself. So let me get a whole row worked out properly, so you can actually have a little bit of handleability without the thing wanting to break into a bunch of different pieces. And let me get this lower section built out too, so we can work that out. And now this is the last of the modified flats. You can see, you can probably guess where it's going to go in. It's going to go in right in between these smaller pieces. There's just a little gap there that I couldn't fill out on this layer. So all I did was build an extension from the layer beneath it. That's it. That's all I did. Pickle rivalry. So there it is. So you can see where this is going to go. You can probably tell, actually. Just put them in here. Come on, buddy. Come on, buddy. I'm good for it. There we go. We can build all the flats in. See? As soon as they all start fitting in, yeah, especially when I get the next curve piece. Come on. There's want to be a little bit fun right here. There we go. There we go. So they're all stuck in there properly now. And there's a little bit, yeah. If it wants to be too tight, it's probably because you might have pushed these. Remember, these are supposed to be all a little bit loose from each other, so the pickle's got a little bit of flexibility. So yeah, these are really easy to put together. Let me get this chunk in, and then the body should feel super solid. Yeah, the head was really delicate because it's supposed to kind of rest against the bottom layers being a little bit more strong. So yeah, you're supposed to build the rest of the body first, and then build the face. I think that's probably a good way to go about it. Okay, so now we've got sort of a bit of the midriff ready to go. And here we go. So now let's get the head. Let's just put all the pieces back on for the head again. And then we should be all right. And this is going to be on this side. So there's one section for the head built in. And then where's the other modified piece? I know it's around here somewhere. Here it is. Yeah. So this is going to fill in this way. Easy, right? Okay, now we can get this fun little sort of curved slidey piece in, like I was pointing out before. So remember, this isn't actually chunked in at all. So there's the curved slidey piece. And then here's the last of the modified ones. It broke out a little bit before. There. It's all in. It's all in place. And it's still going to feel a little bit loose until you get the head on, right? Until you get the actual top of the head on. And this one, also a slightly illegal, not really illegal. LDD wouldn't let me put these together because they ever so slightly don't fit into all the studs. There's a little bit of space. So what I do is I push them into the studs all just a little bit because they're going to want to pop out if I do it one at a time. So I just barely get them all to rest, and then when I push all of them in at the same time, they all kind of have a little bit of extra. Oops. So yeah, if I don't do it all at the same time, they'll pop out. Actually, that one I just hadn't properly pushed in. So let me try that one more time, and this time I will do it correctly. Get all 4 of these corner pieces. Come on, buddy. I swear when this thing's together, it stays together. It just wants to be a little bit funny right now. Okay, let's get that last corner in there. There we go. And then when you push it in, oh yeah, and you can kind of squeeze it. Boom. Now this is super solid. Now this all like, so you saw that it was like really kind of like messing around. This all is super, super solid now. And you can really like, play around. Like you don't have to be super delicate. It's just once it's there, it's there. But yeah, there is a lot of kind of weird finickiness. So there we go. Pickle Rick is coming together. And might as well put the mouth in now. The rest of the build, I'm doing the hard part first, by the way. So the rest of the build, so let me get the mouth back in there. Come on. Now, did I give myself enough space? Oh, no, I didn't. Hold on. I'm supposed to add one more of these 1x2s at the bottom. Yeah, it's supposed to stick out one more plate. Oops. It's like trying to, yeah, it's supposed to have one more plate at the bottom there. Okay, let's try that. There we go. No problemo. Pickle Rick. Pickle Rick. And sometimes the rubber band likes to move around. So I do like to mess around with rubber band. I do like it to have sort of be on the edge here. So there's his face. There's the pickle. Now this rest of the bottom is all just generic stuff. There's nothing special. There's nothing sort of difficult about it. You just kind of have to go through the motions. So this shouldn't take longer than like a minute really to get the rest of the bottom built out. I went to the hard section first. So there's that last flat piece. Oh, here, this was underneath my arm. Okay. So there's the flat piece there, and then these are the sort of, oop, come on, yeah. And then when they're not all in and they get hit by sort of like the side motion, like if you hit it from like a horizontal motion, they'll pop out. But as soon as you get the side, all these sort of protective chunks wrapped around, then they are going to want to not move like ever again, and then the rest of the pickle is going to be quite strong. So there is a little bit of finickiness to this build. I mean, I know I said in the beginning that I was really happy that it's so easy and simple, but the finickiness to this is quite basic, I should say. What the heck? I'm missing one of these flat chunks. Oh, that was way off in the corner. Sorry about that. Sorry, I was starting to freak out. I was like, I'm missing this. Okay, so let's get that in there. Oop. And a flat chunk fell out. Okay, flat chunk. There we go. So there we go. We have a whole other layer. See, easy peasy. And now the body is super solid, but it can also be a little bit flexible. And that's the whole reason why I made them. Why this isn't one just flat bar, right? Who wants to return to Bionicle? I think Bionicle's cool, but it never really struck my personal fancy, if that makes any sense. Interestingly enough, these, where are these gonna go? Oh, you know what? This is actually off. Let me look at this again. Wait, no, it's not off. Why does this feel like it should be connected at a different point? Yeah, this feels like a little bit different for some reason. This feels like it needs to be offset slightly, but maybe not. Why does that look weird or feel weird? Yeah, this feels a little bit weird. I should, in theory, be able to... Oh, oops, did I put the pins in the wrong way? I think I did put the pins in the wrong way. I messed up this thing a little bit. Not in a huge way, but what I should be doing is I should be taking the 4 pins out of this bottom area. So let me do that. This feels a little bit weird. I don't remember this part, but then again, it has been a while since I've built this. And I should be adding these pins to the top. So this bottom area should be missing pins, and this top area shouldn't be. Wait, no, wait, no, I didn't get that wrong. Hold on. This thing should just be, this thing's just offset in the wrong way. Let me do this again. Bionicle Rick and Morty. Yeah, I think Bionicle pieces would be good to make up the rat body though. So, let's do this. This I can unchunk a little bit, and then I can twist it offset. That's what I'm supposed to be doing. Yes, okay. That's correct. Yeah. That was the whole point in me building into the other side studs, so I can twist it offset. Right? No, there's too much space there now. Dang it, what did I do? I did something wrong, guys. But I don't think it's too off. Where did I put it? This should be a little bit loose though. Not super loose, but a little bit. Alright, yeah, I am gonna switch the pins out. Okay, I've decided to switch the pins. I'm gonna delete the next pickle. What does that make? That makes no sense, Asher. I don't understand you. Brick Vault, it's not called Bionicle, it's called Bonkles? Bonkles. Oh, I see. If you say it fast enough, it kind of sounds like Bonkles. Guys, come on, guys. This bottom part was supposed to be so simple, and then I realized that I put the pins in the wrong area. So now it's super complex. And getting pins out of these cylinder pieces is like such an annoying task, because you have to like take the whole thing out. Dang it, let me just take the whole thing out. Come on, buddy, there we go. Getting a pin out of this is so annoying. Okay. I was like so close to the end. This happens like all of my custom builds. I'm always like right at the end, I'm like, we're there, guys, we're finished. And then, what did I do? What did I do? I messed the whole thing up. That's what I did. Yeah, what the heck? If this has enough friction, usually you can just, I like to just stick this piece in and then you can just pull the pin right out of it. Maybe this one will have enough friction. You just put the actual, yeah, see, that one worked. It's almost like a fish and it bites onto the end. This one pin though is being super stubborn. And I just broke it. What? The pin is broken halfway in there. What? I don't think I could break a pin. Like, I broke a pin inside the technical. Yeah. Well, that's gonna be real fun. All right. Let's see. Let's play around. Got it out. Look at that. Who breaks the Technic pin? Come on. Who breaks the Technic pin? I break the Technic pin. That's who. Okay. We'll grab another one. All right. Now, let's just get... I'm like wondering maybe what I can do is actually build this bottom chunk first and then finish it off at the very end. So let's do it like that. So we've got the pins in there. I'm gonna change up the orientation of this 1x2 at the bottom here. Jack, that was a Lepin pin? Maybe. I don't know. Maybe. I've never encountered Lepin before. Maybe that was a Lepin pin and I had no idea. So let's get the rest of these 1x2s in here. Boom. Let's get... Can I just slide this in? Yeah, I think I can. Yeah. So I can just... So these corner pieces don't actually stay there. You can either slide it in this way if you want. Yeah, slide it in that way. Then I can break this out higher up. Okay, almost there. Almost there. Yep. And let's make this higher up. Okay, so I rebuilt this thing ever so slightly off, and it totally threw off the very end of the build here, but not by a huge margin. So we should have these all ready to go. They're all kind of like resting in there, a little bit delicate. And then you build the head on the same way you did the last time. Now, this live stream, unlike the Rick and Morty spaceship live stream, that's left up in case anybody really wants to like watch it again and see how I sort of came to the final end on that one, because that one's a bit more difficult, I think, than this one. This one, however, you can. I'm not gonna leave up as a normal live stream on the channel. There we go. That just fits right in. Okay. There we go. There's a little bit extra space there, but there it is. There's Pickle Rick. So let me zoom that out. This one feels a little bit funny. I feel like I put it together in a little bit of a funny way, so I'm gonna play around with it. Maybe at the end of the live stream. Yeah, you can see it's not. Oh, there we go. See that? Just like pop to that one. All right. Yeah. Yeah, there we go. Ah, and then the head broke off at the bottom. Ah, and then this head broke off at the side. And then the whole thing exploded. Okay. Just this bottom part. So, anyways, that's Pickle Rick. I'm pretty happy with the way the mock turned out. And when I make the final edited episode of this, you're going to be able to... you're going to be able to just download the LDD file yourself if you really do want to take a stab at making your own Pickle Rick. Yeah. But as you can see, it's not like a normal Lego set. There is definitely some finickiness to it. And part of me feels like it was stronger before I took it apart and put it back together. So I think I put it back together a little bit funny. But that is the unfortunate reality of taking apart one of your old mocks. Maybe you don't actually remember every single connection point the same way. Really? Yeah, this thing feels a little bit funny now. It actually doesn't look too far off. I don't know why it's being all weird. But it's beautiful. Thank you. It's super delicate. Dude, it was like so much stronger this morning. I shouldn't have taken it apart. But anyways, that's what I did. That's what I did. Big day for the LEGO community. Why, you ask? Well, the UCS Millenium Falcon releases tomorrow for VIPs. Yes, it does. It is going to be nuts. It's going to be totally nutso. There we go. Okay, it's back. All right, there it is. There it is. There it is. There's the pickle. There's his face. He's got a pickly face. He's got, I don't know. I kind of like the way this thing looks. I think it's a decent amount of recognizability. If that makes any sense. You can see that the rubber bands like to run up a little bit. If you kind of like pull them out and then twist them back, they usually stay in place. Oh, or if you can just twist them completely out of place. Yeah. Yeah, there it is. You can adjust the eyebrow, of course, a little bit if you want to make them look a little bit more shocked. And this is the side areas. So there is a little bit of open greenness, but that's why we have some modified areas. So you just make sure that that green doesn't turn into a bunch of like gaping space or where you can see all the internal structures. And yeah, it doesn't like match up totally, but the payoff for that is that you can really like make the pickle a little bit more. Didn't just fall out. Oh, oops. It's a little side piece fell out. Yeah, you can make it kind of a little bit more wobbly and wiggly and stuff. That is the idea, at least. So, anyways, that's gonna be it for my pickle Rick. And if you guys do wanna see a fully edited version of this video, I am working on a fully edited version of the Pickle Rick video, and this is kind of a shorter time live stream. This is just me kind of being like, hey, we don't have a Lego set to build. UCS Falcon is tomorrow, so that of course is what we're going to be focusing on. And yeah, and probably what we're going to be doing for Friday live stream as well. So anyways, that's it. That's it for the Pickle Rick episode, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed hanging out here. And we're going to have a fully edited version of this video in the future. Hopefully this Friday. That all depends on whether or not I can get the little website that we're setting up to actually support like a download for the LDD, and I think XML file as well if you wanted to order the parts. But anyways, that's it. All right, I'm gonna be out, guys. Thank you for hanging out. Sorry I wasn't responding to the chats so much, but thank you Stevie194 for following. Thank you Henrik Bauer for following, and Milk Jug Jr. has followed as well. Thank you, sirs. Thank you, madams. Thank you, everybody who was hanging out. And, all right. So, that's it. Kind of a short live stream. Tomorrow is going to be insanely long. I have a feeling Mike's going to be doing a lot of the building. UCS Falcon, it's already going to be a 2-day stream for the Falcon. Over 7,000 pieces, close to 8,000. There's no way that's getting built in one day. Even if we go for like 12 hours, it's just not happening. So definitely it's going to be a Thursday and Friday stream. So the rest of this week is going to be UCS Falcon all the way. All right, that's it. Thanks for watching, everybody. And we will see you next time at Brick Vault.